So I went from 272 pounds to 192 pounds at 6'4". And that wasn't through intermittent fasting. That wasn't through keto or carnivore. Through the boring stuff that nobody wants to make YouTube videos about. And as a performance nutritionist, I've helped over 200 men lose fat. And none of them needed a new diet as per se. They needed to stop making it harder than it actually is. The fitness industry profits from making it complicated. It isn't. So I remember when I was running 5Ks every day, I thought I was earning my food because my watch was telling me I was burning hundreds of calories. But the problem with cardio is, especially when you have an appetite like mine, it basically gives you an excuse to eat, and I took full advantage. And my belief is that cardio is probably the most oversold fat loss tool in existence. If you love food, it will make your life worse, not better. And that's my opinion. And the biggest sign you're doing it wrong is when you're already planning when you can actually stop. Like, when will this diet finish? I'm so excited. I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna eat that. I'm gonna do this. And so naturally, I decided to fix it by barely eating instead. There was a time when I was 272 pounds. I went to the doctor and I had a health scare. It was the typical stuff: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and early stages of fatty liver. I laughed, but it was a surprise. I was 20 years old and I did what most guys do. I panicked and I went extreme. I ate as if I weighed 150 pounds at 272 and tried to just suffer my way lean because, after all, being a black belt in Kung Fu, I had this discipline. And it worked for about 3 weeks. Then my body pushed hunger levels to the point that all I was doing was thinking about food. Literally, I was planning everything, but not in a good way. I was dreaming about it. I was dreaming about McDonald's, which I haven't had in about 15 years now. You lose weight fast by doing this. Of course you do. There's hopefully no one still argues that. And then your body just reminds you why that was always going to be temporary. You will rebound hard, just like I did. I've rarely met someone that didn't, like, unless they were just genetically gifted and they got fat by mistake. The most sustainable diet is usually the least impressive one. A small enough deficit, just small enough that you forget you're even in a deficit. And if you want to know what that deficit is, use my free fat loss calculator. It takes less than 60 seconds. So I lost 90 pounds by cutting out carbs, like completely. When that happens, it's easy to believe that carbs are evil and cutting them is this magic trick. Low carb works, but not because insulin or some other buzzword that a lot of these influencers use, but it works as a rule. It stops you from overeating without having to track or count anything. But then I did what most people do. I went back to normal eating and I put on 80 pounds just as fast. And this is the exact same thing I've seen with over 200 men. Nobody wants a low carb diet to be their new normal. Well, I'm yet to meet anyone. Most people can't follow a low carb diet for longer than, let's say, 8 weeks. That's rarely long enough to actually get lean, and especially to build the habits where you stay lean. The best diet is one that doesn't make you fantasize about quitting it. Low carb didn't pass that test for me. I wasn't going to give up pasta. I wasn't going to give up potatoes. I am part Italian, so no chance I'm giving up pasta. And I've never met a guy who genuinely enjoys it enough long term to say, I'm going to be low carb forever. I remember the first time the scale stopped moving, I thought, that's it. I failed. So I pushed harder and got injured. This set me back by 6 months. While during that 6 months, I just put on all the weight I lost. So at this point, it just felt pointless. Your scale doesn't care what the scale said on Tuesday. It cares about what happened over the last 4 weeks. Most people weigh themselves once a week and they just say, okay, that's my weight and that's that. They pick their worst day and conclude they failed. Weigh daily and take your weekly average. That would have saved me and will probably save you too. It changes everything. I remember when I was losing weight, but then the scale kind of stopped moving. But then my waist was consistently getting smaller and my clothes were fitting better. I was actually getting compliments like, oh, what are you doing, Adam? What are you doing? How are you losing this weight? Remember, your weight on a given morning is mostly just noise. Salt, stress, sleep, how much food is sitting in your gut. None of that is actually fat. And if you're lifting, it gets even more misleading. Most people can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. This usually masks fat loss or weight loss on the scale and makes you look stuck. I've seen this happen so many times. Let's say you lose 2 pounds of fat and gain 1 pound of muscle over that month. Or, let's say you lose more fat, but this is just for argument's sake. That can make you look stuck. This is why I track my photos every 2 weeks, my waist measurements, my biceps, and my weight. If the scale is not moving, but my waist is going down, I know I'm on track, and even better, if my biceps going up. So let me tell you a secret. I have an appetite of someone maybe 3 times the size of me, and I once ate 54 chicken wings at a buffet, and I took first place at that specific branch. When I lost the 90 pounds, it was out of pure fear and disappointment. That kept me going. But it's irrelevant. I put most of it back on just as fast. But when I lost it for good, I did it properly. I ate meals that kept me full for hours, not minutes. After all, who wants to be hungry all day? It's just not really sustainable. And all my meals were a serving of protein, a serving of filling carbs, and double the amount of vegetables. And I still do that to this day. And it's not primarily because I want to be healthy, it's because I don't want to be fat again. And the volume keeps me sane. And I need to feel like I've actually eaten, otherwise I'm going to eat again. I'm eating far more food than anyone on keto or carnivore. To me, those diet plans are reserved for people who either have no appetite or just don't like food. The only reason I was able to step on stage twice and do pretty well was because I managed hunger. I don't have some special willpower that you don't. I just wasn't fighting my hunger. I was satisfying it. There was a phase where I felt like I had bulletproof discipline, like literally could get away with eating small bits of chicken, some leaves, specifically rocket, or you Americans call it arugula. And that was combined with 2 sessions a day, morning cardio, afternoon or evening lifting. But my sleep, that was garbage, non-existent. I barely had any energy at all. I just felt like I was just tired all the time. And when you're in a deficit, your body just has less to give. So the answer isn't more training. It's just less stupid training. In my opinion, the fitness industry is selling programs that were made for soldiers, not for you. And if you think about soldiers, it wouldn't make sense if they had this goal anyway. Their primary goal is not fat loss. It's performance. So why should you be following their training programs? Anyway, that's a story for another day. And when I actually dialed it back to 4 times a week, I was lifting 4 times a week, focusing on walking 8 to 12,000 steps a day. My sleep improved, my energy improved, and the quality of my workouts. I was finally able to push PRs. I was able to get stronger, and that was super satisfying. And to see myself making some fat loss progress while all that was happening, that was very satisfying. Okay, so just to rewind, when I lost 90 pounds without lifting, I didn't end up with the body I imagined. You can lose fat without lifting, and you will lose fat without lifting if you're in a deficit. You just won't look the way you've imagined. You definitely won't look like that 15% or 12%, whatever your goal is. You just won't. If you keep more muscle, you look better at the same body weight. Body weight actually starts to become a bit less relevant, and you'll probably surprise yourself, but you'll feel and you'll be more athletic. And again, story for another day, side tangent, muscle is functional. More muscle also means you can maintain your body weight or maintain your look at more calories. That should alone be enough for you to just make sure you're lifting. If the choice, and I'm talking about the choice when it comes to fat loss, is endless cardio or solid strength training plus steps, I'll choose strength training every single time. I remember I had this phase, most people do, I haven't met a guy that doesn't. It was an all or nothing phase. One bad meal meant that was it. Whole day ruined, cheat day time. Then I writ off the whole week. That week was ruined. Then I'd start again on Monday. And that's the exact mindset that kept me stuck for a very long time. One good meal, regardless to what anyone thinks or says, won't make you shredded. And one bad meal doesn't make you fat. It's just not the way your body works. What matters is the average of your choices over the weeks, over the months. And once you drop the need to be perfect, there's only one real question worth asking. Can I or can you still do this in 6 months? If the answer is yes, keep going. If not, something has to change. And the truth is, boring works. The fitness industry hates that sentence. There's no money in it. And if you're like me and you love food and have a big appetite, you're gonna wanna watch this video next, where I'll talk about the #1 food that's not protein that will make losing fat significantly easier. I'll see you there.